Welcome! This is what is happening on the Sun today, the 2nd of May 2011. Sorry about my croaky voice, but I managed to catch a cold while on vacation. What else are holidays for? So let's take a look at the sunspot groups. The three regions on the west limb have now rotated over the limb so we can no longer see them. They may be gone but not forgotten, as you'll see later. Region 1200 is just a small spot group in the southwest. Region 1203 seems fairly stable, and at the moment there are three unnumbered regions, one in the northwest and two trailing behind region 1203. In the last 24 hours we've had just one C flare, and that was tagged by NOAA to be from region 1199, which is one of the regions that has recently rotated over the west limb. I had been hoping to use the stereo A data to identify where the C flare came from. However, there's a data gap just at the critical time, of course, so I can't do that. However, as you can see from this sequence, there's quite a bit of activity going on in region 1195, which is shown here to the south and west of Sun Center. Next we turn to the Solar Dynamics Observatory to see what's happening on the side of the Sun facing the Earth. In the sunspot and magnetic movies, we don't see a great deal of development in any of the regions, which explains why we haven't had much in the way of flares from them. Most of the activity we see in the helium-304 image is in the southwest, above region 1195, but I don't see anything particularly explosive there, so I don't expect that we got any coronal mass ejections from it. You can see the same activity going on in the coronal images, which means there's a mixture of both very hot and very cool material all in the same area, which can only happen in the presence of magnetic fields. Stereo B data shows us what will be rotating onto the Sun in the next week. We can see that most of the activity for the next week is concentrated in the northern hemisphere. All across the southern hemisphere there's this dark filament channel stretching from limb to limb, and if that should decide to lift off we should get some very spectacular coronal mass ejection. The SOHO coronagraph data shows us that we've had a beautiful CME off of the northeast limb. You can see it first in the smaller field of view C2 instrument, and then stretching out deep into interplanetary space in the C3 instrument. In our composite coronal image you can see how much activity there has been in the northern hemisphere compared with that in the south. This is likely to continue for some time yet, but by the time of solar maximum this will have evened out or maybe even possibly reversed. Closer to home, the auroral zone still remains fairly active, with the KP index varying between 3 and 5. So in summary then, the sunspot number is at 57, though with all those unnumbered groups I think the number should be somewhat higher. The X-ray background remains at about B3, the intensity of the radio sun is about 110 solar flux units. We're still in a very high speed wind stream at about 700 km per second, which is causing the KP index to vary between quiet and low storm level. My forecast for the next 24 hours is that we still have a good chance of getting C flares. M flares are possible, but I think the chances are quite low. The chances of getting an X flare are remote. We should still continue to get coronal mass ejections, but the chance of getting a major geomagnetic storm is quite low. But because we're in a high-speed solar wind stream, geomagnetic conditions will remain unsettled for at least another day. If you want more details about what is going on, follow these links. They are listed in the description box below, as are links to earlier editions of The Sun Today, and also some of my videos on global warming. So that's it for today. Keep safe. Bye for now.